Hey guys, um, obviously bittersweet. Great effort by our guys. Um, really proud of Jeremiah Robinson Earl just taking over the point for most of the first half when Justin was in foul trouble, and then I thought Justin did a great job playing the whole second half, playing the point. Um, and Collin, I know you guys are probably going to ask, but so I'll address it. Our trainer said, it looks pretty serious. You can't say what it is. We're going to MRI tomorrow morning, but he said it looks pretty serious. So there was no chance at all of him returning for the second half. And that's all we know. He's not going to speculate, but I want to be honest with you. That's, he's not saying he'll be fine. He's saying it's pretty serious. Okay.
All right, we'll go for questions. If anybody has any, please raise your hand or write in the chat and we'll get to you. Austin, start us off.
Hey, Jay. In terms of what you saw in the second half from Justin playing the point guard, are you comfortable with him in that role going forward if Gillespie's out for an extended period of time?
Yeah, I am very comfortable. And we just assumed he'd be our point guard next year. If he doesn't leave early, you never know. But we were very comfortable with that. When Collin's out, which isn't often, we're usually still pretty good with Justin at the point. We just don't like to have Collin out of the game. So what we need to do is get other people to step up, and I think we'll do that.
And in the second half, when Justin had the 2 fouls, we saw Jeremiah playing a little point guard, a little trick up your sleeve there. I mean, what did you see from him in that ball handler role?
Well, actually, the whatever time that was in the first half when Collin went out, Jeremiah played the point the whole rest of the half. Now, we were going to try it for a little bit to try to steal some minutes for Justin because he had 2 fouls, but we actually increased our lead. Jeremiah did such a great job. So, we just stuck with it. I mean, I think that was the difference in the game was him playing the point. They obviously weren't prepared for that. There's no way they could be. And we've increased the lead there in the first half with Justin on the bench and Jeremiah playing the point.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Take care.
Thank you.
Joe, go ahead.
Jay, when your guys went in the locker room at halftime, what was the mood like? Was there some heads hanging when they saw Collin?
Yeah, definitely, Joe. It was, that I could see it right away. And, they're tough guys and they're smart guys, but, they were down, and then, they started just pumping each other up. But definitely, Collin is, there's probably not been one player that's had such an impact on a team in a year as Collin does here. He's our, spiritual, our leader, work ethic. He's our leader, character-wise. He's our leader. On the court, he is. He's tough to replace. We're gonna have to, grow up real quick, and guys are gonna have to step up, and I think they will.
You also went without a point for over 8 minutes. Was that a matter of just not being together without Collin in the lineup?
Is that a pun, Joe? Or
I'm sorry.
We went without a point, or we went without a point guard, or both?
Well, without your engine, really.
Yeah. In the second half, is that how long it was? It was 8 minutes?
I think it was 8:31 or something like that.
Holy jeez. Well, the good thing about, I knew there was a stretch. The one good thing about that stretch was that we need to learn is, you got to hang in there defensively. That's what we, that's what we didn't do against Butler. That's been our inconsistency this year, is putting together those stretches defensively, which obviously we did during that time. I mean, they cut into the lead, but it could have been a lot worse going that long without scoring.
Thanks, Jay.
You got it.
Dana, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, I'm not trying to be melodramatic here, but obviously, Collin means a lot, as you said, to this team, but to this program and to you personally. I mean, he's a senior. This is like there's no good time for an injury for anybody, but how devastating is it because of the circumstances of where he is in his career?
Yeah, I mean, you hit on all of them, Dana. It's, you know, you know, it's a great question. I really wish I didn't have to talk about it, but you're right. It's all those things that you just love the kid so much. And, they're all like your kids. You love them all. But, you know, this is big for him. He's having an incredible senior year. He's our leader. I know he's missed the NCAA tournament last year. He's looking to have a big time tournament. I think he's a pro prospect and, all these things. This is tough on him, but, we're going to try to, I want to answer your question, but with him, we're going to try to focus on the positives and take on this next challenge of rehabbing or whatever he's going to have to do.
Thanks, Jay.
David, go ahead.
Hey Jay, what would you say was working tonight against Creighton that did not work the first time around?
Obviously, we made shots, but that wasn't the key. I think, I think defensively we were really much more connected, and I didn't know we were 8 minutes, until Joe just told me, but I knew we had a stretch there. That was the key. I knew we had a long stretch where we couldn't score, but we put together enough stops, like they scored, but that stretch was the key to the game. I think the first half, Jeremiah Robinson Earl playing the point guard spot the whole end of the first half, and then that stretch of 8 minutes where I think they got it to like 5 or 7, but we got enough stops, and then we started putting stops together after that.
And how did the players react after Collin went down and continued on?
I think they were devastated at first, but I think they, the competitors that they are, I think they stepped up and took on that challenge. They want that challenge. There's something in players, that they hurt for their teammate, but then they know that more responsibility is put on them, and they all like it. They all want it, and we got to keep that going now consistently.
And last one for me, how does it feel to win the Big East regular season for the 7th time in 8 years?
We the game's over, and again, I want to answer your question. We don't really talk about it. We will at the end of the season, but it's great for our seniors. It's great for our school. We'll come in, watch film tomorrow, practice, and try to learn from this, get better, and get ready for Providence. All that stuff I want to be respectful to answer the question, but all that stuff we'll talk about when the year's over.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
Collin, go ahead.
Hey Jay, did you feel like there was an intensity boost from your guys seeing their families in the crowd tonight?
I don't know if there was intensity. I felt the intensity in the arena. I think there was intensity boost from our guys. I think they're smart. They learn lessons. There was a lot of things we didn't do well defensively against Butler. A lot of things we didn't do defensively against Creighton last time. We had 2 films to watch. They learned from it. And I think that's where their intensity came from. Now, let's make it very clear. It was like playing a home game. Obviously, it wasn't like a sellout like it always is, but it was pretty cool having fans in there.
And second, did you feel like there was any specific defensive difference between this game and the first game against Creighton?
Yeah, definitely, Collin. We were connected. We got into like just individually guarding their 3-point shooters and not helping each other out the last game. We feared their threes so much, not collectively, but individually. Like every time we were on a shooter, we just got locked into the shooter, didn't help out. I mean, we played much better team defense tonight.
Thank you, Jay.
You got it.
Austin, go ahead.
Jay, quick one from me. I noticed on the broadcast at the end of the game, Greg went up to Collin. You were talking to Mitch a little bit, who's been a thorn in your side. It seems like since I guess you can call it the new Big East came to fruition, there's like a real camaraderie there between the coaches and the players. It seems a lot more closer. Is that something you can kind of agree with? That's just something I know. So I just want to
definitely. When the old Big East started, they had it in a unique way. They were starting a new conference. For us, we knew when we started this conference that that we were leaving the Big Five, all the football schools, and We were creating something unique. We knew we needed each other. We knew we needed each other to be successful. All those programs have always supported us and all our NCAA tournament runs. We've supported them. Our coaches get on a thread during the NCAA tournament. We really do root for each other. It's not corny. It's because we know we need each other. And there really is a great camaraderie in this conference. And I know Greg wanted, I specifically wanted to see Ballack. I don't think I can't recall a player that competes as hard and never, ever once shows any disrespect to his opponent or the game, ever. He's the most respectful player that plays hard. It's easy to be respectful if you don't play real hard and tough. You can just be a nice guy.
Exactly.
But he's a killer, and he's always respectful of the game, the officials, his opponent. It's really impressive.
Thanks, Jay.
Got it.
David, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, without speculating how long Collin's going to be out, do you think we could possibly see him for the NCAA tournament? And with the NCAA announcing the seniors have the 5th-year option, do you think he'll invoke that?
You know what? I could not speculate that. We're planning right now just because our trainer said it's serious, and he wouldn't say that if it's not, and he's going to get an MRI tomorrow. I would assume just the way his knees wrapped up, we wouldn't have him for Providence, but I wouldn't speculate after that.
All right, thank you.
Got it.
Does anybody else have a question for Coach? If so, just raise your hand. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Thanks, Michelle.
You too.
Have a good night, Coach.
In terms of Collin, this is someone that you've been with in such a weird season and having to go through the protocols and the testing and the multiple quarantines. You guys have created a real bond with him. And to see, we don't know the severity of it, but to see him go down like this, I mean, what is it like for you and the rest of the guys in the locker room to see that?
Yeah, no, it's tough because we know how much dedication he has in Villanova basketball and that he's put forth for his 4 years that he's been here. And we all look to him as a leader. So when we see something as devastating as that to happen, we just know we got to step up and play for him. We go out there and just play full 40 minutes and know that we're going to give it all for him because he gives it all for us.
And with you, in the end of the first half when Collin went out, you were playing the one. Is that something you were prepared to do?
Honestly, I wasn't prepared, but we're always prepared for the most difficult situations. So we've done it before in practice, but we weren't like coming into the game, Jay Wright, you're going to run the one. But you just always got to be ready for every situation and just execute what coach tells us.
All right, thanks, Jeremiah.
John Fanta, go ahead.
Jeremiah, congratulations on the win. I guess when Collin goes down in this game, can you take us inside your huddle? What's instantly said that gets you guys trying to forge on and focus on what was next in this game?
Just giving everything we have for him, because we know he does it every day through practice, film, when we're in the dorms, when we're out in games. So we know we're just going to give it all for him because he gives gives everything he has for us every single day and every opportunity he can.
Can you tell us, any interaction you had with Collin, whether when he came back out and sat down or after this game, what you said or what he said to you?
Yeah, it's tough that the situation he's in, but we tell him we love him and we're going to pray for him. And we're just hoping that it's not as serious as it might seem. And it's just for a speedy recovery for whatever the situation is for him.
Thank you.
David, go ahead.
Hey, Jeremiah, how would you say how the team overall responded after Collin went down and then the way you were able to hold off Creighton?
I think we did a great job tonight. I think it started on the defensive end and they had the little stretcher where they were chipping away at the score, but we just had to grind it out and we knew it was going to be ugly. And we love when it's ugly, just going out there playing for a full 40 minutes and playing for our brothers and our coaches.
And how can you guys build off this performance going in to play Providence on Saturday?
not getting satisfied with that. We know they're a very good team, and we had a great night, but we know it's a great step in the right direction. We need to continue going in that same direction.
And also, how's it feel to win the Big East regular season?
It's a great accomplishment, but we know we just got to keep coming back every single day and just playing hard as we can and play the best Villanova basketball we can.
All right, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for Jeremiah? If so, just raise your hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Justin, when Collin went out, that second half, you were running the one. You came in as a combo guard, and from what we've seen of you at your time at Villanova, you've been more of a two. Are you prepared to possibly go the rest of the way as the lead guard?
Yeah, I think every day in practice, we play multiple positions. I run the one, I run the 2, 3, so we're all interchangeable. We all work on our skills each and every day. And me and Collin compete in practice. He's at the one, I'm at the one. We switch off and on. So we're all capable of stepping up, just like Jay Wright stepped up and played the one for us a little bit. So we're all capable of stepping up.
And for you tonight, a bounce back performance after a few games that you probably would want to have back. I mean, what does this do for your confidence going forward now that you're probably going to be in an elevated role?
The thing is great. I think I always come in with confidence no matter what's going on. I think we all come in, play Villanova basketball. We know we're capable of. We know we just got to play harder than everybody that steps on the floor with us. So the confidence is always there. We never lose that. And I personally never lose that.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Terry, go ahead.
Hey, Justin, what was the team's immediate reaction when Collin went down? What was said in the huddle to try to keep you guys, your spirits up?
Everybody was just focused on stepping up, next guy up, being ready to come in and perform, and saying attitude. Let's do it for our brother, and that's what we came in together and said, let's do it for him. Let's come out there and play harder.
And did you have any interaction with Collin either in the locker room or on the sideline?
Yeah, we all at halftime came in, dapped him up, gave him a hug, said we love you, we're praying for you, and then we got back to focusing on what we got to do out there on the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Collin, go ahead.
Hey, Justin, you had a fantastic offensive game today with 24 points and shooting 75% from the field. How did you feel about your own offensive performance, and is there a time when you felt like you felt hot or anything like that?
It was just the way my teammates were finding me and reversing the ball. We're all sharing the ball. It's hard to stop us. And just trying to get in the lane, make plays for my teammates. And if they're not helping, I scored myself. So just reading the defense. And I think we all did a great job of finding each other.